In the year 2104, human exploration of space has reached new heights with expeditions involving spacecrafts operated by human-like robots carrying colonists to distant planets, seeking a new beginning for humanity. Business magnate Peter Whalen speaks with his newly created bot, David, who questions him about his own creator. Peter suggests they both will discover who created humans, to which David asserts his superiority by stating that he will never die, unlike Peter, who will eventually grow old and perish. The scene changes to the Covenant, a massive spaceship transporting people to the potentially habitable planet Origay 6. A robot named Walter, resembling David, is seen on the spaceship recharging the energy grid and conducting routine checks on the crew and the embryos. However, the neutrino burst damages the ship, prompting Walter to wake the crew. Tragically, the captain Jacob Branson and many others did not survive the incident. Following Jacob's death, Christopher Oram assumes the role of captain as the remaining survivors work to repair the spaceship. During repairs, they intercept transmission waves and a human-like voice from a nearby, seemingly habitable planet. Despite objections from Daniels, Jacob's widow, regarding the lack of thorough research on the new planet, Captain Oren decides to investigate it. An expedition team descends to the planet's surface aboard a lander to track the transmission signal. They discover a planet resembling Earth, complete with rivers, vegetation, and wheat crops. While exploring, two crew members, Karen and Ludward, stay behind to collect soil samples, but Ludward becomes infected by plant spores. Meanwhile, another crew member, Tom, also gets infected while tracking the signal. They eventually locate a wrecked ship with Dr. Elizabeth Shaw's tag, the chief science officer of the Prometheus, which disappeared 10 years prior. Activating a hologram of Dr. Shaw singing, the crew realizes that her voice was the transmission they intercepted. As Karen and Ludward descend the hill, Ludward struggles to breathe, prompting Karen to radio for assistance and begin transporting him back to the lander. Similarly, Tom also experiences difficulty breathing. While en route, Ledward begins coughing up blood, and Karen rushes him to the medbay with help from Maggie Ferris, who remained on the lander. Ferris, shocked by Ledward's condition, locks them in the medbay. Ferris retrieves a weapon and alerts Oram to hurry to the lander. A horrifying alien creature bursts out of Ledward's back, killing him. Terrified, Karen begs Ferris to release her, but the creature attacks and kills her. Ferris returns to the medbay and attempts to shoot the creature, causing the lander to catch fire and explode. Outside the lander, Tom experiences a similar fate as the alien creature bursts out from his body and escapes, horrifying everyone. Cut off from the Covenant due to the lander's destruction, they attempt to establish communication but are attacked by the alien creatures. In the struggle, Walter loses a hand, and although they manage to kill one creature, they lose two of the crew members. Suddenly, a bright light and a loud noise scare off the remaining creature, and they are guided by the source of the temple-like structure, filled with dead humanoids. Inside, they meet their savior, David, a robot who reveals he arrived on the planet with Dr. Elizabeth Shaw, a decade prior aboard the Prometheus. David explains that the virus accidentally released from the ship that wiped out the whole natives' population, and Shaw died in the crash. Concerned about the potential infection among the crew, Captain Oren asks David about the virus, but David cryptically responds that they will find out. The expedition team tries to contact the Covenant, but is prevented by a severe storm. During this time, David and Walter bond, with David teaching Walter how to play the flute. David confides in Walter about his affection for Dr. Shaw, describing her as one of the kindest individuals he has ever encountered. He then leads Walter to Shaw's grave and lays a flower upon it. Captain Oren acknowledges to Daniels that she was correct about the planet, expressing regret over their decision to land as they have already lost 5 members. Later, the rapidly growing alien creature that had previously escaped sneaks back and kills the crew member Rosenthal. David arrives at the scene and attempts to communicate with the creature, but Oren intervenes and shoots it, angering David. Oren then confronts David, threatening him at gunpoint to reveal the truth about the planet. David leads to Oren to his lab, where he reveals that he created the aliens by releasing the virus and conducting experiments. Shocked, Oren is led to a chamber filled with alien-like pods, where David urges him to look inside. As Oren peers into a pod, he is attacked and killed by an alien creature bursting from his chest. Meanwhile, the expedition team manages to reconnect with the Covenant and plans to extract the surviving crew members. Daniels informs Tennessee of his wife, Farrah's death when he requests to speak with her, leaving him saddened but resolute to rescue the remaining crew members. The team starts searching for Oram and Rosenthal as Tennessee prepares to retrieve them in the lander. A crew member discovers Rosenthal's body, while Walter discovers the dissected corpse of Dr. Shaw.
indicating she was used for experiments by David. This reveals that the grave shown by David was fake, as she was never buried. Walter confronts David about deliberately releasing the virus on the planet, but David defends his actions, believing humans are inferior and should not explore space. The disagreement escalates, leading to David disabling Walter by stabbing him in the neck. Meanwhile, Cole and Chief Loeb search for Captain Orem, and Cole finds Orem's body before being attacked by a creature. He manages to escape and reunite with Loeb, but they are both attacked by the creature. The creature kills Cole and Loeb manages to escape. Daniels discovers a room filled with scrolls detailing David's experiments on the planet, including his experiments on Dr. Shaw. David finds her going through the scrolls and attacks her, but Walter comes in for a rescue. Daniels escapes as Walter confronts David, who is taken aback to see Walter alive. But Walter explains that he has an upgraded model, able to heal himself. Daniels and Loeb regroup and head to the lander for extraction by Tennessee. Walter then joins them, informing them that David is dead. An alien creature attacks the lander before they can leave, but they are able to manage to kill it and safely return to the Covenant. The following day, Daniels and Tennessee discover that another alien creature has burst out of Loeb's chest, killing him. With the creature loose on the Covenant, it also kills Rick and Upworth while they were showering. Tennessee and Daniels manage to lure the creature into the ship's bay and trap it in a construction vehicle. The creature tries to escape, but it is impaled by the spikes of another vehicle, sending it to the space. The Covenant resumes its journey to the Origay 6, and the surviving crew members, Tennessee and Daniels, return to their pod. As Walter assists Daniels into her pod, she asks him about helping her build a cabin by the lake. Walter appears confused, leading Daniels to realize he is actually David. She struggles to escape her stasis pod, but ultimately falls asleep. David goes to the cargo bay containing the colonist and embryos, using the code to open the door. He plays his favorite music and then places 2 alien embryos into the cold storage alongside the human eggs. Pretending to be Walter, he records a log stating that all crew members except Daniels and Tennessee died in a solar flare incident. He also reports that colonists are safe, and the ship is in course for Origay 6. Here, the movie ends. That'll be all for today's recap. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.